Infinite. 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 Finite. Infinite is said like infinite, and then when you remove the in, finite is not said like finite. When you add the e back on, it is finite. One thing that is very infinite and very finite, depending on the time, is time. Time for me, and I think for everybody else, can be so infinite at the beginning and so finite at the end. I got this clock at Goodwill for $3. It was half off, so I got it for $1.50 actually. The dome is scratched up. It's an old clock, but I think it's very beautiful. This clock I also got from Goodwill for $1. It's more modern, a little prettier on the outside, a little more complicated. 2 clocks. We have 2 clocks in every day. This is the first clock. We're going to take out the dome. Then we're going to remove the hands, one by one. We have to get to this die. I'll show you why in a second. We're going to remove the hands very methodically. While we're deconstructing this, I'll keep talking about that infinite finite thing. When a due date is so far away, it feels so infinite. When things feel very infinite, we tend to use them without thinking. Think of resources. The world, when you're a miner and you're cutting up a mountain, it feels so infinite. But when you're out of gold, when you realize how scarce everything inside that mountain was, everything feels so finite. Now we're on to the next clock. This one was a little harder. I had to pry down this little tab that these manufacturers put in so people wouldn't open it haphazardly. Now we're going to remove the hands one by one, like before. The second hand capping it off, then with the minute, and then with the hour. Also, with the battery cover, they had a little latch, so we had to undo that with my little Leatherman. The movement. Then our dial just flips right out. Now we have both of our dials. We're ready for the illustration. That is one day. That is one full day. Now it's time for coloring. We're going to find a way to put these colors onto this clock. I got these crayons from Goodwill, $3. They also came with chalk, colored chalk, I believe. They're old crayons, but they're really pretty. First we have red, then orange, then we're going to use a little bit of yellow, then some green, then some blue, then some violet, or for the layman, purple. We're not actually going to be using brown. I didn't want to talk about my brown time on this. And then that swings around to the most important color in this, black. Black is going to be the most important color. Now we're going to start off, we've got violet or purple for the night. This is when I'm hopefully sleeping. This is also kind of technically the morning. Then green for when I'm getting ready for school, really being awakened from bed, and yellow the time I'm at school. Then we continue with the yellow, the time I'm actually woken up at school after 12 p.m. Then the orange, walk home. Then the red, decompressing from the day. Then the blue, eating dinner and spending time with my family. And then, finally, the most important, the black. The time when it's actually my time, when I decide what I do for the most part. Not a second here or a second there. That is my time to do homework, to do projects. And when I'm starting a new project, whatever it may be, I'm trying to put my whole day into it. No matter what it looks like to people, I'm trying to put my entire day, my entire life into a project. You have to make sure it's tight so time doesn't slip out of that project, and soon that project becomes a tomb of time. Due date 3 weeks. Scratch that 2 weeks because I spent time making the box. Then we're gonna scratch out 2 weeks because I got preoccupied with some family things then. Well, we're gonna switch it to 2 days because I started procrastinating out of nowhere, and then today. What? Time is finite, especially when it's the day of your. It's finite.